everybody, welcome back to the Chiquel YouTube channel. My name is Amanda and I'm here today because I have this deep and burning desire to straighten out my Ready For It wig by Gabor. This wig is made with heat defiant synthetic fibers and I've had it for a couple of months now, but one thing about these HD fibers or heat defiant fibers is that they get really frazzly and frizzly and dry and fuzzy and just not so pleasant pretty quickly. So it's been a couple of months of wear and already my ends are really crispy feeling. I'm not sure if you can see this through the camera, but in my hands, they do not feel great. So whenever your HD wigs get to that point, the only way to solve that problem is with heat. A lot of people assume that if you put a mask on it or silicone spray or condition it really well, that it's gonna take the frizzies away, but that's not the case. The only thing that that's gonna do is smooth out the hair, make it less tangly, make it less clumpy, but it's not gonna take out any of the frizz. The only way to remove the frizz is by using heat. The downfall of this is that if you have a lovely, curly, wavy, or styled wig, the heat is gonna get rid of that style. So you have to be okay with taking out that style because you're never gonna be able to completely replicate what came right out of the box. You can get close, but it's never gonna quite be the same. So I'm gonna show you today how I'm gonna straighten this out. It's really quite simple. And the great thing about these HD fibers is that if I regret going straight, then I can always recurl it again. And I do already have a video on how to recurl your HD fibers. So make sure you go check that out on my page. So whenever I straighten out my HD fibers, please note that this is only for heat defiant synthetic fibers. This is not for synthetic. I can make a video later on how to straighten or get out the frizz on your synthetic fibers. Okay, sorry, back to what I was saying. The only things that I really need in order to straighten this are, sorry, I have them all in my hands right now. I get a clip so that I can section off some of the hair so I'm not doing it all at once. I have just a big brush so I can detangle. Now, normally I wouldn't brush my synthetic pieces with a big brush like this. I would always recommend either just using your fingers or using a wide tooth comb, because when you use a big bristle brush like this, it's gonna pull at the fibers and make them even more frizzy. However, since I've decided to get rid of the frizzies and straighten it out, this brush is okay to use because it's going to completely detangle everything, which is what we want, and we're getting rid of that frizz anyways. I'm also gonna need a little bit of water from a spray bottle, a fine tooth comb, and a hair straightener set no higher than 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I usually keep mine around 300 for this. All right, so the first step that we're gonna do is section off your hair so that it's not all in one big clump. I'll usually do this in a few sections. So I'm sectioning it off using my clip to clip it up. Look, that's even a cute little style. All right, once I've clipped it up, I'm gonna take my brush and detangle as best as I can. Now, the step before this, I would recommend washing and drying this completely before you do this. I have just recently washed this wig, so I don't need to do that right now, but before you do this, I would recommend washing it. Okay, now that I have detangled this section here, I'm gonna take my spray bottle and spray it with water. I'm not gonna spray too much, just enough to make it a little bit damp. Now, a lot of people ask me if I use any heat protectant on my HD fibers, and I do not. I have never used heat protectant before on my HD fibers. I do on my human hair, but I haven't on my HD fibers, and honestly, they're fine. I've had wigs that have lasted me 7 years and they're still fine. All right, once we're detangled and sprayed a little bit with water, I'm gonna just pull out smaller sections here. And using my fine tooth comb, I'm gonna pull through and follow along with my hair straightener. You're gonna notice the sizzling. Don't let that sizzling scare you. It's gonna happen. It doesn't mean your wig's gonna light up in flames or anything. You're gonna be totally fine, I promise. Now, the reason we're using a fine tooth comb is that it's going to more easily grab at more fibers to help pull and straighten them out. If you are just doing it with either a wide tooth comb or without a comb at all, it's not gonna pull them as straight as you want, and it's not gonna pull as many as straight as you want. This is really great in making sure all of those fibers get all of the frizzies out of them. So you can go through each section a couple times. It's not gonna hurt it, but once you do that, you're gonna notice such a difference in your fiber. Let me show you how beautiful this is. Look at that. I wish you could feel how soft and smooth this is through the screen. It is so lovely. So I'm just gonna continue to repeat this process throughout my whole wig, just grabbing sections, following along with my hair straightener until the very ends here. Let me just do this bottom section for you and then I'll come and show you what that looks like. All right, I am completely done this bottom layer. And when I tell you that it feels like a brand new wig, I am not kidding. It feels so stinking good right now, you guys. Okay, just for good measure, I then often take my big brush and just then go through it in larger sections. Just for good measure. I don't know if it does anything, but I just feel good about kind of clumping it all together and making it extra straight. Okay, now that we've done this layer, we're gonna let this fall. Oh, I might miss these curls, but the great thing about this is I can add them back if I miss them. Okay, I'm gonna do another section here. So I'll section off this top part, kind of where that monofilament hand knotted top is. And start on a layer number 2. This is gonna look really cute on the top of my head. There we go. Okay, now I'm just repeating the process. I'm gonna take my bristle brush, detangle as best I can. I generally like to hold the hair because if I just pull, it's gonna pull some of the fibers out of the cap. So I like to hold it so that it's not gonna pull too much. But don't be afraid to really get in there, detangle it, because we are straightening this out anyways. If you already have a frizzy wig and you've already committed to using heat on it, then it's totally okay to use a big brush like this. All right, detangling this side as well. And then my next step is to add some water. All right, just spraying just a little bit, not too much. You don't want to drown your wig at all. Just give it a little bit of a spritz, make it a bit damp. I really like the spray bottle. It's compressed, so it has more of a mist going on. And I just got this on Amazon. Okay, carrying on, we're just gonna take again this fine tooth comb, pulling the fibers and following through with our hair straightener, ignoring the crazy sizzle sounds. All right, I don't think you need to watch me do this over and over and over again. That might be a little bit boring. So I'm gonna come back when I'm done this layer again. All right, you guys, I'm done this layer and I don't think I'm regretting my decision to do this at all. I am really loving this straight look. All right, I'm gonna let this one down, do everything again to the top layer, and then I will show you the final look. But first, oh my gosh, I am so hot right now. I do not have air conditioning in my house. It is like 30 degrees outside and I am sweating. Oh my goodness. Just air out my head for a minute and then I shall return to the straightening. Of course, you could do this on a mannequin head or like a block canvas head, but that's tucked away in my closet right now and my head is just a little bit more handy right now. Okay, you guys, I am completely finished. I am actually so glad I did this. It feels like I have a brand new wig right out of the box. It's amazing. She is clump free. She is frizz free. She is tangle free. You should see how easily I can just comb through this with my fine tooth comb, which you can't really do often. So look at that. She is so smooth, so silky soft, and just feels brand new. I'll put her on for you so you can see what she looks like. And now you'll know that if you get the Ready For It wig by Gabor, you can enjoy her curly for a few months, and then you can straighten her and enjoy her straight like this as well. She's really beautiful straight. I'll turn around for you guys. Look at how nicely this hair moves now. Oh, I could run my hands through this all day long. It's so lovely. All right, so let me just reiterate that the technique I was using here is for a heat defiant fibers, heat-friendly fibers, heat synthetic fibers, any synthetic fiber that can take heat. This is not going to be used on just your plain synthetic. If you do this on your plain synthetic, you're going to fry it. It's just going to become a fried, frizzly, burnt mess, and then you can't really fix that. So if you are unsure whether or not your wig is heat friendly or not, then you're welcome to put a comment below and ask me, and I can try and help you out there. If you do have just a plain synthetic wig that is really frazzly at the ends and you're wondering how you can fix that, then stay tuned because I will make a video just for you guys and your plain synthetic hair, and I'll show you how to make your wig look new again. Now, this technique that I use is really ideal on straight wigs because that way you're technically not getting rid of any of the style that it had beforehand. But of course, this is okay on all HD fibers. I mean, as you saw, I did this on my curly wig. So the one great thing about HD fibers is that you can manipulate it and pretty much do whatever you want with it when you're using heat. So now I'll probably enjoy this straight for a while. I will notice that the ends will get frizzy again because that's just the nature of HD fibers. And when that happens, I'm just gonna take my hair straightener and go through the ends and straighten the ends out again. And it'll be a really quick and easy thing in the morning before I head off. But anytime you see frizz on your HD fibers, know that conditioning, putting silicone spray on it, that's not gonna get the frizz out. That's just gonna make it softer and smoother. It's not gonna get the frizz out. Only heat can do that. But once I'm done enjoying it straight, then I'll probably curl it again. So there are so many possibilities with HD fibers once you start kind of figuring out how to work with them. I think that's about it for what I have to share with you today. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful for you and hope to see you guys back here soon. Bye guys.